Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I said I find myself I was reading about engines and because I like to work on cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was reading about engines. I was reading my NASM textbooks and everything just to keep it.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Coach Alvarez here from Alvarez Jiu Jitsu. Got one of my students here, Mr. Craig Graham. I just kind of wanted to have him share his story a little bit on why he's training. Now, just kind of give a background a little bit. He's been a student for a while, but he's kind of been off and on with his training. He's took a couple breaks. When did you first start?
I started back in 2012.
2012. And then how long did you train before you took that first break?
I think almost 2 years.
2 years?
Well, almost 2 years.
Then you came
we were
back.
Doing a lot of tournaments.
Okay. Then you came back, and then how long did you train for?
I trained for another year.
Another year?
I think so. Then I got my blue belt.
Okay. Then you took another break.
Another
break after that. And then just recently, so he's been gone for a little while. But we're still friends on Facebook, and I happened to just catch one of his posts not that long ago. And unfortunately, his father just passed away. And of course, like in his post, he's mentioning how his father's his rock, and of course it's his dad, so it means everything to him, So he made his post. He just kind of paraphrased. He was trying to do some things to keep his mind off of what was happening, what was going on, and he put in there kind of some dark zones. He was trying to keep himself out of going into a dark place. You got your world kind of spiraling out of control there if your dad's passing away and stuff like that. And whatever he was writing in the post, he said it really wasn't working. And I just happened to catch the comment or the post, and I'm scrolling through, and of course I'm like, condolences or whatever, that your father passed away. And because he's obviously, like I said, he spent a couple years with us off and on, but he was gone for a while. But when you create friendships, you create these bonds with your students. Obviously that hurt. You can feel the pain. And so in the post and the comment, I just said, hey, condolences, and why don't you just come back to jiu-jitsu? Try to come back to the mat and see if that'll help. Kind of clear your mind and get your mind off things. And sometimes I make those kind of comments, here and there to people, and then sometimes, obviously for the most part, people don't come back. But he did. He showed up, I think like 2 days later, I think you showed up. And, it was really good to see him on the mat working with all the guys, because, he knows a lot of guys that are still training here, and obviously new faces. But can you just kind of go into like how it's helped you? Because he's been training. He's trying to get that training and getting back in the groove of things. And, he was just telling me before we started this live video that how much it's helped him. So can you guys just kind of explain how is it helping you?
The positivity aspect of just the nature of the gym helps me. It keeps me back grounded and keeps my mind from, wandering into those places. Because with so many positive people and, even the old faces, even with the new faces, it keeps my mind at ease a lot of times, and it just keeps me from wandering off to places where I know personally that I shouldn't go to. And even though it's hard at times, I can just roll past the gym, and I start smiling all over again. And
you live close by. Mm-hmm. Do you pass it a lot?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I pass it like if I'm going somewhere like towards Mansfield or something like that. Like if I'm going to like the Sam's Club or something like that. Because I live right up the street. I live I used to jog here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They live about a little over a mile up from the gym. So. Yeah.
So it just takes you away from everything that's going on for a good hour and a half. You're just in here, just kind of focused on some other things. And then how do you feel afterwards?
I feel amazing afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it's like a family here. That's the best way I can put it. It's just like a great family here, and you gotta make me cry.
Yeah. No. It's just I want everyone out there to understand what we do here, and then how jiu-jitsu can help you. So like it doesn't matter what you're going through. It could be maybe not something that's this bad. It's a different kind of stress level or whatever. But the outlet that this thing can give you is just something that you have to experience. So if you've done it already and you've been gone for a while, you know, obviously you need to come back and kind of let this help you if it's not whatever you're doing is not helping you. And if you're out there and you're looking for an outlet to help you, then this is it. You know, you also said just a little bit ago that you weren't going to come because your girlfriend was trying to kind of keep you at home, but then you kind of stuck to your guns and the discipline, and it's like, no, I'm going to class.
Try to get me to eat a little piece of the cheeseburger too.
Yeah, so you know you're gonna get those kind of things, and not that the girlfriend's being mean or trying to deliberately make him miss the training, but people want you to stay with them and not kind of come to jiu-jitsu class, but it's two different types of feelings what a person can give you and then what you're doing for yourself. And this is what we do for ourselves. Like this is what it does for us. Is the self-accomplishment, self-achievement, just the way you just feel afterwards. Like nothing else can kind of give you that. You just got to come in and experience for yourself. So if you stick to the discipline and stick to the schedule like you're supposed to, you can continue moving forward in the right direction because you're constantly just clearing your mind, resetting from all the stresses that what's going on in your life and stuff like that, because it's tough. There's a lot of good things that happen, and obviously, there's a lot of things that are tough, and life is hard. But with the right group behind you, the right mindset of people, a lot of good things can happen and keep you on that steady path to keep you moving forward. So I just wanted Mr. Graham to kind of share that because he's sharing that with us on the mat, and I was just like, hey, I think that's really important that your father passing away and jiu-jitsu can kind of help you with that. I think that's so powerful that people need to hear that. They need to see that. So also talk about real quick how you felt during those breaks where you weren't training. How was, because you just said something like every time I took that break, it just didn't seem like things were going good.
Yeah, every time, all 3 times I took the break, I felt like it just kept going down and down, and I come back and it just like it goes right back up, and and it's just like I don't want to take the break anymore because it's like you got to be consistent with it, and how can I put it? You stay consistent with it, you will get the results, and everything it figures itself out, but you have to keep it up there at the top. You have, like, on the list of priorities, you have to keep it up there at the top. Like it comes before a lot of things in my life now.
Yeah, so what he just said is I use this analogy a lot. I fly a lot, I compete, I travel, and I'm always on the plane, so it's always the same speech. Like it doesn't matter what airline, it's always the same thing. If there's turbulence in the air, the mask's gonna come down, and then you have to put your mask on first before you help anyone next to you. It could be your child, it could be an elderly person, it could be whoever, but they're not saying help your child out first or help the older person out first. They're saying put your mask on first so that you can breathe, because if you can't breathe in that kind of circumstance, then how are you supposed to help anyone else? Okay, so the kind of the same situation here. If you're not finding, it doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu, you got to find something, but if you're not finding that thing that's keeping your mind where it's supposed to be, then how are you supposed to help the other people around you? If you're not staying physically fit and mentally fit and you're eating right, like how are you supposed to help the other people around you to your maximum capacity? You can be able to help out a little bit, but if you're mentally just not stable and you're just not in the right place, and you can't breathe, so to speak, you just can't help people like you want to help them. That's why I'm big on, why I say the things I say here in class. The discipline just takes over because I can't help a couple hundred students of mine if I'm not doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. It just won't work. You know what I mean? So you've made some changes with your eating habits too. So like, kind of explain that a little bit. Like, what were you eating and kind of what are you eating now?
Like when I first started, I would cook everything I ate. I had maybe 1 or 2 cheat meals out, like my non-training days. Like the 2 days out the week I probably didn't train when I first started. I would cook everything, and now I'm getting back into that, back to where back to where I started again, because that's how I started it. Because you were a big influence influence on me for that,
Mm-hmm.
because that made me like, okay, he's older and everything, and he's in tip top shape. He's crushing me.
I'm 43, gonna be 44. He's 27, so yeah, absolutely.
And that was back when I was like 21, 22, and he was crushing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, I got to get up there with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I started eating better, and now my diet's getting back better to where it used to be. And I actually feel my body a whole lot better. We start eating a lot cleaner. I can feel the toxins leaving the body.
Yeah,
I come in here and I think I drop about 2 pounds every day. Every time I come, I drop 2 pounds.
That's good stuff.
In good weight.
Yeah, good weight. You also mentioned something today that I said in class, because he messaged me the other night and was like, hey, appreciate the advice because blah blah blah. What were you?
The talk that you had with us about being organized, and what I mean, and being clean also too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you told me, like, you would go through and look at the cars and everything else like that, and it'll tell you a lot. And I went back to my car and I was like, oh man, I have to get this together, because I noticed too that my life was unorganized. It was a mess, and so I've taken the last week and organizing, planning, making sure everything is up to date and all that. I have a calendar. I mean, everything. Have my plans drawn out. I have a board in my room with just my goals and everything that I'm just trying to achieve. A whole year plan broken down also. Just by smaller goals at a time. Just to keep me focused.
Keep you focused. So you got to see it. You got to be able to see it. Because if you don't have it in front of you, and you don't know where you're going.
I had it in my phone actually. I had it in my phone, and I'm just like, I won't remember it. Yeah. And really, like, I won't. If I wake up in the morning every day and I see it on my wall, and I'm just like, all right, cool, bang.
There it is.
I see it, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now I can start the day right.
Yeah. So, by any means, guys, like I'm not perfect at all. I make mistakes. Just like anyone else, man. I'm human. But for sure, on one level, I'm definitely trying to be on another level, right? So, what he's talking about is I try to be very neat and organized and clean. So I walked through the parking lot and I made a comment about my students in their cars. So if it's a nice day out, it's sunny and it's blue skies and birds are chirping and stuff like that, and I walk by and your car's like dirty, it doesn't look like it's been washed in weeks. There's bird stuff on it, and I happen to look inside. It's just a quick glance. There's clothes and cheeseburger wrappers and whatever else just kind of thrown in the car. It kind of says a lot about a person, right? Like they don't care. Like they're just it's this laziness. It's laziness. It's what it is. Like, it's just people can argue all they want, but at the end of the day, like your car's dirty and the inside of your car is dirty. What else is dirty? Your room dirty, your house dirty, dishes in the sink. So it says a lot. So I got a lot of students rethinking and changing that. Actually, cars out in the parking lot looking a lot nicer and cleaner. So I just use those things to kind of help trigger things in these guys' minds to kind of just, because if you don't wash your car and don't clean it, it has no effect on me, because mine's going to be clean. I'm going to be doing what I'm going to be doing. But the goal is to help as many people as I can with these other little things. And it's a lot of work to try and do all these things at this high level. But, with the right support system and the right coaching and stuff like that, you can definitely do all that. So, I just, again, condolences to you with your father and everything. But I just really thought this was a powerful, things that he was telling me, and I wanted him to share with them. So I really appreciate you sharing that with everyone. So,
it's no problem.
Yeah.
If I can help the next person get to a better place mentally and physically, I'm happy. That's just, I love to help people as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why you affect me so much.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I do certain things and I'm just like, man, I can hear Coach I can hear him in my head.
I'm like Yoda, man. I'm like Yoda. You know what I mean? Like, he's just,
I had my whole room clean today, and I came in and I just like tossed the jacket on the floor, and I could just hear him. I'm just like,
pick it up, pick it up. That's it, man. So, anyways, man, I really appreciate you, man, and look for more years on the mat together. Yes, all right, Facebook, you guys have a great evening. We'll see you next time.